All right. Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Molly Van Marth. I am a fitness and health consultant for executives and business owners, and I design custom plans to help them get leaner, stronger, and also perform better, even in the context of their very busy lifestyles. And today I've got my client, Shaun, with us. He has done a killer job in his program. Um, he's smashed his goals and gone even beyond. And so I just wanted him to share a little bit about what the process has been like and sort of some of his results and what he's seen happen over the past, 9 or 10 months. So I guess, Shaun, start off with a little bit about who you are, what you do, what your lifestyle is like, and then I'll ask questions about the program.
Sure. So I'm a active, professional sales executive, in SaaS software, and I have a family, two young boys, and we're filled with sports, a lot of activities, and a lot of travel for work. And my wife also works, so very, very busy. And have always been, trying to stay healthy, trying to stay, in shape. But about November of last year, I herniated a couple discs in my back, and I think I wanted to level set. I wanted to get stronger. I'd been doing a lot of cardio, not a lot of lifting. And, basically after I got my back right, I felt like I wanted to start strengthening my core and start doing exercise I probably hadn't done in 20 years. And at first it was a little scary, but as we got into it, I started to enjoy it a lot. And it kind of took off from there on the routine. So.
Absolutely. In terms of results, obviously we've taken you through a cutting phase, and now we've done a very successful bulking phase. And so, because obviously, you had sort of two goals where you wanted to get more cut, you wanted to get tighter in the core, like you mentioned, and then you also wanted to put on lean muscle. And a lot of times people experience either losing weight but losing muscle, or gaining muscle but gaining body fat. And so we were able to take you through a cut. And then also now we've been able to add just lean muscle. So you've actually gotten even leaner as you've put on muscle. Do you remember what the total amount of pounds was that we got off of you during your fat loss phase?
Feel like it was probably about 15-ish, maybe
Mhm.
12 to 15. It didn't seem like a lot. I feel like I didn't realize it until I started looking at some pictures. But yeah, I think it was like 12 to 15.
The visual shift has been crazy. So yeah, and obviously now we're just focusing on adding strength. What had you tried before we started working together on the fitness side of things? And we could talk about diet, but like with fitness, what did you try?
It had been really years since I had done anything other than like a bunch of cardio. Try to kind of watch what you eat. The kind of the low fat or low carb diets. Protein here and there. But nothing. I kind of had not really been that strict. It was more about, hey, if I do, 4 or 5 days of cardio, then I can eat what I want and still be okay. And I think that just the wake up from not wanting to have a herniated disc anymore, not be able to have a bad back, kind of woke me up to say, hey, maybe I should shift what I'm doing because maybe the running is not so great for me.
Definitely. So being able to perform better and also build strength that's protective, a lot of people, and it's hard when people get injured because it's so tempting to just stop training altogether. But really, one of the best things to prevent getting injured again and build your best physique yet is gaining strength. Um, in terms of diet, have you tried anything on your own?
It's like, low carb. I mean, the usual things probably most people do, low carb or hey, I'll cut out, the things people love, or at least I love, like the pizzas and the chips and all that kind of stuff. But nothing where I was regimented and like tracking like I am now.
Definitely. And that really was the biggest thing. You were pretty clear on that. You knew that you didn't have what you needed to get to the next level. So, when people are wondering what's the magic ingredient here to create that drastic visual shift, the truth is it's a customized plan. And you've been incredibly, very important to point out that you, like you said, you're a creature of habit. You're incredibly consistent. But what's interesting is a lot of times I'll work with people who are already being consistent, but they're being consistent with the wrong plan. And so once we gave you the right plan, I mean, the results were obvious, and it happened pretty fast. In terms of flexibility, because like you said, you travel, you've got a family, you've even been on vacations, in the context of this program. How doable do you feel like the diet is?
And the diet, I mean, that one once I got into it and understood kind of how the science of it worked and what are good carbs, what's good protein, what's clean protein, what are some alternatives if you are in a busy lifestyle. Once I got into it, It is absolutely doable because, like you said, I am a creature of habit, and so once I found what I could eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner would always kind of fluctuate with the family. But my wife even would make fun of me. She's like, "How do you eat the same things all the time?" But I think I found good sources of what I needed, and so even traveling, you go out and find what you're looking for because you know kind of okay, I can eat this kind of group of food, and I wasn't cutting anything really out. Like I still enjoyed the things I liked, but I was measuring and understanding, okay, well, if I've had this much so far, this is what I can do. This is how much protein I need. This is how many carbs I need to finish the day. And so it kind of kept me on track. But the diet is absolutely doable once you have the plan.
Yep, definitely. It's definitely a database process. So like this is for people who are into tracking metrics, into tracking data, and are just looking for, again, the right targets to hit. Um, I guess what do you feel like was the most helpful part of the plan itself or the program itself? Anything that you felt like you were missing before, and then once we introduced that, it was a lot easier in terms of seeing
A
results.
few things I would tell you. I would say one, just the plan of understanding the science behind the eating, right? Like there's no magic way to do this. There you have to be clean when you're eating, and at least tracking and putting good things in your body. And then just the workouts. I hadn't done some of the workout, like I said, in a long time. Like I kind of shied away from it because I'm getting older. I don't want to hurt myself, but I think that having the plan to eat, the plan to work out, and then the accountability of just like, hey, are you doing what we set out for you to do, and so it's been extremely helpful.
Definitely. And I think that you were able to see, a lot of people will either work with a dietitian and maybe get some pointers on diet, or they'll work with an in-person trainer thinking that if someone is just, there to make them show up, or if they just work out hard enough and long enough, eventually they'll see results. And you have done this completely on your own with only a 4-day plan, like drastic change in your physique with a 4-day plan that you've executed on your own. And I think that sometimes people feel like they have to have that accountability. Otherwise, they won't see results. And the truth is, it comes down to the plan. And when you have a plan that works, it's a lot easier to hold yourself accountable to that if you know what to do and you see results from it. I really think is the biggest thing that people are missing. Um, I guess in terms of what you saw change besides just like visually, well, what did you see change? I guess in terms of like just things that you've noticed being in way leaner, way stronger. This is not just like a small shift. I mean, we saw the 6-pack show up and you now have like an 8-pack. It's beyond 6-pack status. And we're not just saying that. So, I mean, what have you noticed as a result of that?
But I feel like for a while it took me a while to see like what maybe you would see. Like I didn't see it right away, right? So finally I started like seeing the results. I think it got me more kind of addicted to sticking to the program.
Mhm.
But I started to feel obviously more energy. The clothes were fitting differently. I was getting stronger. I was lifting a lot more than what I had been, and started getting more confident when I was doing squats and deadlifts and things that most people probably shy away from. But mainly it was I started to see a difference in just how kind of the body just started reshaping and the clothes started fitting differently. And then obviously, as you do that, I mean, people started asking me what I was doing, and I started logging all my food in my fitness pal, and I'm following a program to work out, and then I don't know how many people really actually thought that was the case, but it's been what it's been, and it's been awesome. So.
So cool. So cool. I mean, you've done, again, all credit goes to you because you've done a fantastic job with staying on plan. You showed up for all of your check-ins, you know what I mean? Like we've just really stayed on top of it. So, um, and I love that. And you've been able to be really independent with it too, where, it's worked if you've traveled. And I love to see that. I love to see somebody understand, not just here's the plan, I need to follow the plan, but this is why it works. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Again, you've done a fantastic job, and I'm sure you will take it even farther than here, but